Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bingo Babes Bumper to Bumper. Hey, how are ya? I'm on my way to Dog for Kids in Oakley, California. It's Wednesday, April, what's today? 23rd. Wednesday, April 23rd, on my way to Bingo. Before I get started talking about today's topic, which is cheating, I just wanted to make two points. Point number one, I am trying to get Letty on a bumper to bumper this weekend. I know you guys are probably tired of just seeing me yapping along. So I'm trying to get her on a bumper to bumper this weekend. Hopefully we can do a Q&A. And then point number two, Facebook. We are getting a lot of people asking us again, do we have multiple Facebook pages? Is this page you? Is this a fake page? We only have two Facebook pages, one for bingo content and one for personal content. Our personal page, which I will put right here, is the Babes, Gigi and Letty. That page is not bingo content. That is personal content. There may be like clips of us from a bingo live, like where we said something funny. As you can see, there's one on there now. But we will not post us playing bingo, us teaching bingo, like the stuff that we post on our regular Facebook page about bingo, we will not post on there. And again, this is the only one we have for our personal page. For our bingo page, Bay Area Bingo Babes is our only Facebook bingo page with over 400,000 followers. That is our only one. I'm going to put a picture of it right here. This is our only one. Look at it with 400,000 followers. If you see a video posted by somebody named Camilla Evans, Stay Epic, Reese Dawson, or any other random name, it is not us. It is a fake page that steals our videos and posts them. There's hundreds of them. I have sat down one day and just blocked every single one that I saw, and I pushed refresh and there was 50 more. Like, there's hundreds of them, and there's nothing we can do about it. Facebook does not do anything about it. But the biggest ones that I know of are Camilla Evans, Reese Dawson, and the Stay Epic page is actually the biggest one. Again, that's not us. They're people that are stealing our videos. So if you do not see these two pages that I put right here on the screen, Bay Area Bingo Babes and the Babes, Gigi and Letty, any other page is not us, okay? And again, if you're not sure, what you can do is click on the page. If it doesn't have over 400,000 followers, it's not us. All right. Anyway, now, and one more thing I do want to mention. If you notice, on our Bay Area Bingo Babes page, I post flyers, I post long videos, I post short videos, I post pictures, I post our schedules, I post all kind of stuff. I don't just post our TikTok videos over and over and over and over again, which is what those pages do. So that's another way that you can kind of tell, like, all they do is post the same videos over and over again. I am constantly posting different stuff every single day. Anyway, now back to business. What I wanted to talk about today is something that was requested after I posted our last bumper to bumper. We got an email from an anonymous person. I'm not going to say their name in case they would love to stay anonymous, but we got an email from one of our very faithful followers, and they asked us if we could talk about I'm going to put the question right here, but basically, if I remember correctly, they wanted me to address, do we think that bingo halls can block certain people from winning on machines? They felt as though they have not been winning. It has been the same group of people winning all the time lately, and they just are wondering, can that be possible? Now, before I answer this, as always, this is just my opinion. My opinion is not fact. I mean, I think it is, but it is just my opinion. My opinion doesn't mean I'm right. Even though I may think I am, again, it's just my opinion. All right. So, do I think a bingo hall can block certain people from winning on machines? I personally do not believe that. Why don't I believe that? I believe bingo is purely a game of chance. And when there is a machine that the balls blow up from the bottom, I strongly believe that your winning or losing depends on those balls. Now, if you pay for your machine and it says that you have 50 cards and all 50 of your cards are there, then okay, that's a good step already, right? Now, if your bingo machine and your cards say, okay, you need two numbers, you need B1 and 075, and those numbers never come out and you don't win, and oh, that same lady that's sitting across the hall that won the first 4 games just won again, I encourage you to think, okay, how many cards did she put in her machine? Did she spend $5,000 and put 5,000 cards in her machine, or is she playing the same amount of cards as me? Does she have more chances than me? I also encourage you to ask yourself, what type of machine is your bingo hall using? Is your bingo hall using the same machine that most bingo halls use, where all 75 balls blow around at the bottom and the caller pulls one ball at a time? Is that the same machine that bingo hall is using, or is your bingo hall using a computerized machine? We have had one of our followers tell us that in Colorado they use a computerized machine. There's no balls blowing around in the machine. It is just purely somebody clicking a button. That would make me very skeptical. Now, that I would not feel comfortable playing at that hall and spending my money there, because I cannot see the balls coming up out of the chute. Now, some of you may be wondering, Gigi, what are you talking about? What do you mean balls coming up out of a chute? A bingo hall machine, which is the machine that pretty much everywhere we play bingo uses, there's a blower at the bottom. All the balls sit in the machine and the blower blows them up, essentially almost like imagine a waterfall. How the water comes up and then it trickles down on the sides, or not a waterfall, a water fountain, where the water goes up and trickles down on the sides. That's essentially what happens inside of a bingo machine. The balls flow up and they trickle down on the sides, or they mix around almost like a little, mixing bowl of ingredients, and they just do the Dougie in there. That's what I like to call them. They jump around, do the Dougie in there. They just bounce around, and with perfect timing and the perfect airflow, the balls randomly go up the chute where the caller pulls the balls out one by one. I'll try to insert a clip so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but that is basically how bingo works. It's all chance, it's all random. Your ball just has to go in the chute at the right time for you to get bingo, right? Now, that is why I say I don't think that they can block you from winning, because it's all dependent on the balls. It's all dependent on the balls. Whatever balls come out, it needs to match whatever cards you have. Again, if this person across the hall that's always winning spends $5,000 each time and always has 5,000 cards, they always have, so they're always going to have more chances than you're going to have. And it is frustrating. I'm not going to say it's not frustrating, but I also don't want people who don't have billions of cards to feel like they don't stand a chance. The other day, I won pocket money, which is a $2,500 game. I only had 2 cards. And I won. The first time I ever won pocket money, I only had 1 card and I won. There's been so many times that you guys have seen in our live streams where we've had, just tons of strips, nothing happened. Y'all have also seen times when we've had 1 strip and something happened. Like, it is completely random in my opinion. I do not feel as though they can block anybody from winning. Now, some people when we go to South Point in Las Vegas, some people feel really skeptical about the way they call the balls there in Vegas, because the caller does not pull the balls up one by one. There's still a blower, there's still a machine where the balls are in there going around randomly. However, when the ball gets to the top, the caller doesn't pull it out, a machine scans it. So like let's say N31 was the next number up, there's a ton of barcodes all around that N31. The machine is scanning it, and it's going to the computer, and all the caller has to do is push the button, and it's going to light up 31. Now, again, a lot of people are skeptical about that because they feel like, oh, there's no caller, they're not touching the balls, But in my opinion, I feel as though that's even more trustworthy, because you really don't have to worry about any funny business going on, because it genuinely is it's just the balls in there. Nobody's touching them, nobody's nothing. They're all the same weight, like none of them are dirty. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. Now, we have been told horror stories from managers, from callers, from bingo volunteers, bingo workers, players, the whole 9 yards. Like, we have heard all kind of stuff on how halls have cheated in the past, how workers have cheated in the past. It is possible to cheat. At the end of the day, unfortunately, it is possible to cheat. Luckily, me personally, I have not seen any funny business at any of the halls that we play at. I will say, years ago, I did see, when I first moved here, I'm not going to say where, but I did see at a hall that the caller dropped the balls, but not all the balls were dropped. And you're probably like, oh, well, how did you know not all the balls were dropped? Well, they dropped the balls, they were calling the game, and then I guess they realized, oh shoot, there was still balls left in the machine, and so they went ahead and dropped the rest of the balls into the machine as the game, while the game was going. And in my opinion, it was an honest mistake, and I don't think that they were intentionally trying to do something so that somebody could win or not win or whatever. But it just proves, yes, there are things that could happen to change the outcome of a game. We've been told that in the past, bingo halls, before they got the new machines that most bingo halls use now, that are like regulated, callers used to be able to very swiftly put their hand in the machine, take out whatever ball they wanted to be next, and make it go into the chute or whatever. So like if their friend was sitting in front of them and they were like, oh, I need B3, they would just go in, reach in, pull out B3, and all of a sudden B3 is next. Like those were the kind of things that were happening. We've heard that, I don't know where in Texas, but in Texas, well, I do know where, I just don't want we've been told in Texas that people were verifying like pull tabs. They don't have like the verifiers we have where it pulls the card up on the screen. Well, they might now, but when I used to play in Texas, they didn't have that. They would just read the numbers off in front of another player to verify the bingo. And there were workers that were calling off numbers that weren't on the card, but the numbers had been called so that their friends could win or whatever, So that was another way like people were caught cheating. We were told that a old hall that I don't even think operates anymore, an old hall, they had a hot ball, and the caller would put tape on their finger, and every time they would drop the balls after every game, they would stick their finger on that hot ball so that it wouldn't go into the chute. And then they would go on with the next game, and then they would unstick the hot ball from their finger so that it just never came up. And sure enough, it never came up. But that was like, again, this was like a hall. I don't even think this hall's open anymore. But there's just so much, like people splitting players can cheat too. People splitting buy-ins and doing shady stuff. Or, not buying the hot ball and then using somebody else's receipt if they caught being on the hot ball, which was a big scandal not too long ago. They got caught doing that. But there's just, people suck, dude. People suck. Just like people commit crimes, people cheat, people lie, people steal. It's unfortunate, but that's sadly the world we live in, and people do stupid stuff. But that's my opinion. I don't think that bingo halls can prevent you from winning on a machine, because you can see your cards, you can see that the numbers you need. Now, if those numbers never come out, maybe you can be the one to verify the balls. If you feel like your bingo hall's doing something shady, please, I encourage you to go sit in the front. Don't go sit in the front cussing the caller out the whole time. Just go sit in the front and see, like, what's up? Like, what are they doing? Why is this way? Like, why all of a sudden is this way? Like, just go and pay attention. Open your ears, open your eyes, look out for weird stuff. That's all I can suggest that you do if you feel like there's shady stuff going on at your bingo hall, okay? Just try it. Just go and just make sure nothing shady is going on, okay? But that's pretty much it. I am here I drove around because I'm early. I think I might go to the Dollar Tree over here. But that's all I can suggest. That's my opinion. If you feel like things are weird, pay attention, and remember, you as a bingo player have the discretion to decide where you want to either spend your money or not spend your money. I know it's hard for some of the people that are in smaller towns that don't have as many options to go play bingo. The only thing that I could suggest to you is to speak to a manager. If the manager doesn't help, then maybe you need to speak to the lottery commission in your town. That's the only thing I can suggest. It kind of sucks, but just pay attention. And also remember, just because people win all the time doesn't necessarily mean that they're winning. They may be breaking even. And I know it's frustrating. I will not disagree with you. I agree. I just want everybody to look at things a little bit different. Like, if you have one card and they have 15, yes, their chances are higher, but it doesn't mean you can't win with that one card, okay? So don't lose hope. Just don't lose hope, okay? But, all right, party people, I'm here at the bingo hall. I gotta go get in line, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and live your life, and be happy, and I'm gonna go get this money. All right, love you guys.